dance friends, pros, amateurs, pro-ams. My name is Marielle Pabone, and my husband Carlos and I are the organizers of the North Coast Danceport Classic. We are now the first multi-day event that is sanctioned by the NDCA on the calendar, and we came out with a video a couple weeks ago announcing that we were going to be running the event, and I think many of you have seen that. We made some general announcements, and so what I'm doing today is coming to you to answer some of the most frequently asked questions that we've had and give a little bit more of an idea of what our event is going to look like, because as you know, we are not going to be holding any professional events this year. Feasibly, it just wasn't possible based on all of the modifications that we had to make. Now, our main goal in all of this was to get the students and their teachers dancing again. We want to support the industry. We want to see everybody get out there who's ready, have the opportunity to do what they love. So with that, we felt it was really important to be able to spend the most time possible, leave the most time during the day to focus on what we needed to do. So our event is 2 days. It's going to start on Friday morning with rhythm. We are going to run all of the bronze events, singles, multis, scholarships. Then there will be a break in the session. We will allow all the competitors to leave the ballroom, and then we will bring in all of the silver and gold level competitors and run all of the events the same way. Following the end of that, we will exit everybody out and we will clean and sanitize the ballroom. And that's basically how the day will go, both days with all of the styles. One of the main questions that we've had is, will we have spectators in the room? And that was the issue with the professionals. And I just wanted to tell all the pro-ams right now, you will have spectators, because in the ballroom, you will have all of your fellow competitors and their teachers. And if possible, and there's space at your table, we would love to see you be able to bring a significant other or a brother and sister. The biggest thing right now in any event is the buzzword contact tracing. So we have to know every single person that enters that ballroom. They have to check in with us, meaning check in with us and we know that they're coming well prior to the event to allow us to be able to coordinate everything. We're not accepting tickets at the door. We are not selling tickets. Even if you do have a guest that ends up coming to the event this year, they will not have to pay admission into the ballroom. We felt really strongly that it was not right to charge admission into the ballroom when you can't stay in the ballroom. You can only go in and compete, and then you'll be asked to leave. And that's because we need to make sure that we keep the minimum number of people in the ballroom to keep everybody safe all throughout the day. We will be leaving all of the doors open to the ballroom. I think a big issue has been, what about ventilation? People are gonna be dancing, they're gonna be breathing heavy. The hotel has a brand new heating and air conditioning system, and so that's a great thing in terms of the ventilation in the ballroom, but we are also gonna be leaving all of the doors open. Another reason is because we don't wanna have an entrance and an exit per se. We don't want you to have to walk halfway across the ballroom to exit through one door when there's a door right next to you. So obviously we'll have an enter and exit side of each door so that we can maintain distancing while going through the doors, but we really want to make this as seamless as possible and answer as many questions ahead of time as we can so that you're comfortable in knowing that we're doing everything that we can to keep you safe while you're there. So I'm going to peek at my notes because I don't want to miss anything that I wrote down. One of the other things that I want to let you know about is packages. So as you know, most competitions have packages. We chose this year not to have packages because we didn't want anyone to feel like they had to stay for the entire event. I know packages are a great way for organizers to meet food and beverage minimums and to keep everybody around, because the more energy in the ballroom, the better. That's not going to be the case this year. I think you're going to see that we all have to make modifications to our competitions in order to make them work, but it doesn't mean that we can't try, and it doesn't mean that we can't do it. I don't think we should just give up. We are going to be doing longer heats. so that we allow for enough time to get everyone on the floor, make sure that everybody is social distanced on the dance floor. For the rhythm and Latin dances, we will stick with the NDCA. Obviously, we'll stick with what the NDCA has, that no more than 9 couples can go on the floor at a time. We have a 40 by 80 dance floor, so it leaves plenty of space for rhythm and Latin events for everyone to be well 6 feet apart from the next person on the floor. We are looking to reduce the number of competitors on the floor for ballroom and smooth, just because we want you to feel comfortable again out on the floor. Know that you have enough space. Floor craft is going to be a must, so it's always good to work on that. So this will give you the opportunity to do that. We will not have an on-deck area. So everybody will be entering from where they're sitting and then returning to where they're sitting after your heat. No dressing rooms. Unfortunately, that is one of the things that the hotel has told us that we cannot do because you can't monitor it. And the dressing rooms are typically a smaller space and they don't want close contact like that. So for dancers who are coming in and not staying at the hotel, there is a bathroom right at the end of the hallway that's really convenient. It's nice. There's large stalls. So same with the men's room. So you can change there, but unfortunately we cannot have dressing rooms this year. The hotel has a great rate. It's $99 a night. So I know some people have expressed that they're not actually going to be spending the night at the hotel, but they're going to get a room just to use as a dressing room. And you're welcome to do that. If there's 2 of you that want to share a room and do that, that's fine. That's completely up to you, but we unfortunately can't provide that. And the same thing goes with water stations. There's just too much cross-contamination. So we will have bottled water available, and you know, if you want to bring your own water, that's fine. Again, no towels. So we can't be providing towels or paper towels or anything like that that's going to be sticking around. So if you want to bring a towel for yourself, or if you want to bring a towel from your hotel room or something like that with you, we encourage you to do that, but we just can't provide anything like that in the ballroom. The practice floor. That's been another question. Will we have a practice floor? And we're lucky we have a very large space. So we have plenty of room in the ballroom to space everybody out. I'll get into kind of how the seating is going to look in a minute. But with regards to the practice floor, my concern is that I know everybody wants to practice, right? And when you find that there isn't a practice floor, you see everybody out in the hallway dancing. So I am inclined to still have a practice floor and then just have a staff member, possibly limiting the number of people that can go in and out of there and monitoring that. It is a large enough space where it could accommodate several couples to go in there, but we will also be having breaks in between each of the levels, like I mentioned, as well as each of the styles. So even if you don't have a chance to go into the practice room, before you dance, there will be the opportunity to go out on the floor and practice. We will not be having a videographer this year. We want to leave the most space for movement in the ballroom and for all of the dancers. We would like to have a photographer, and we've been talking with Ryan Kenner, who has been our photographer for a few years now, and we would love for him to come, but of course we have to have the entries and the support to justify him making the trip out there. So we hope he can make it. That's why it's helpful to know who's coming and what type of entries you're bringing, so that we can communicate with vendors like him to let him know whether or not it makes sense for him to make the trip out. I mentioned that I was going to talk about the layout of the ballroom. So every studio, at each level, bronze, silver, and gold, you will have a table assigned to you when you walk into the ballroom. And that table will have between 4 and 6 chairs. And that table will only have people that you are comfortable sitting with. So people at your studio, people who are in your circle. We won't just sit somebody from another studio. I know sometimes when there's 2 people from one studio and 2 people from another, you'll combine tables. That will not be happening. You will be with only your designated people that you want to sit with, and then the table next to you will be 6 feet away from you. So you can imagine there's really no way to get a ton of spectators in the room to maintain the social distancing requirements that we are trying to keep in the ballroom, but you won't be alone. You will have your other competitors in there. We're going to encourage everybody to cheer each other on. I mean, that's what this is all about. It's all about coming together and sharing our love of dance with each other. So don't feel like you're going to be alone and there's not going to be anybody in there cheering you on. The other thing is that we've been asked is about awards. So we are not going to give out single dance awards in the ballroom because, as you know, everybody comes and congregates on the floor, and that's just not going to work with social distancing. So we are going to be doing single dance awards at the end when you are done competing. What we're going to do is at registration, get everybody's contact information so that when you are done dancing, we can put all of your awards together in a nice little bag and then call you when it's ready and you can come back and get it. So this way you don't have to stand in line outside the ballroom to get anything, which I know sometimes happens. That line gets really long. If you can't wait for your awards, then we will mail them to you. The challenges, the multi-dance events, and the scholarships, all of those awards will be done in the ballroom. And I think other organizers have discussed it with one another. We'll have a table, and you won't have the judges standing there and presenting it to you and putting it over your neck if there's a medal, but we will have them on a table and directing you kind of to where it is that you need to pick up your award, because we feel that the recognition is important. This is part of the reason why you're doing it. It is a competition. The main thing I want to do is assure you that we are doing everything we can to make this a memorable experience for you. We know it's going to be different. There's going to be a lot of modifications, but that doesn't mean we're not putting in a lot of time to make sure that the 5-star service is there, that we're able to offer you the same type of experience that you've come to expect from the competitions, and that personalized service, but of course just in a different manner for the way our current lives are. Let me check and see. That's the other thing I wanted to mention was top awards. So top awards are typically given out on Saturday night. And that's not going to be the case this year because we're not going to have an awards ceremony on Saturday night. Unfortunately, we can't get the top 20 Dance Sport Series lineup and get everybody up there. We can't get the top studio and everybody up there. A lot of that is because I think some people are just coming in to dance and then they're going to be leaving. We have locals driving in. We have people flying in. I know they're planning on leaving as soon as they're done their heat. And so as much as we'd love to be able to present it to you in person, if you're still around, we will give it to you. But if you're not, it will be mailed, and you will be acknowledged for all of your achievements at the competition this year. Finally, I think the other question was masks. So masks are currently not mandatory in Ohio. Now, if you're an employer, they are mandatory, and you will see everybody at the Holiday Inn wearing masks, and probably most of our staff and judges will be wearing masks as well. But competitors are not required to wear them when you're competing, and probably not encouraged to either, just because of being able to breathe out on the dance floor. So we do recommend that spectators wear them, and we do recommend that when you're not dancing to wear them, only because there are going to be people on the dance floor without masks on, so just to protect yourself. But that is completely your choice. You don't have to wear one if you don't want to. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. This is a very fluid process. There are changes being made kind of on a daily basis to adding things and adding new safety measures, and even modifying how we're doing things when it's brought to our attention that there's a better way. And I can promise you that we're listening. So if you have an idea, or there's something that we're overlooking, or you think there's something that we could be doing better to accommodate our dancers, we would love to hear it. I mean, I expect that we are going to be dancing from 8 in the morning till probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night between all of the styles, and leaving enough space between everything. So as you can see, we wouldn't have had time for professional events, probably even if we wanted to run them. The pro events, I know that we had put on our website, it's not a pro event if there's no audience and there's no awards. I just wanted to clarify that because only competitors are allowed in the ballroom. So had we run the professional events, there would be no spectators in there. There would just be the people who were dancing. So when American Smooth was on, only the American Smooth dancers would be in there, and they would be dancing, and there would be an empty ballroom. So that's the difference between the professional events and the amateur events. And in addition to that, with the pro events, we could have had them come up and get their awards, but so much of it is the lineup and the experience of all of the audience in there and cheering for you, and the adrenaline rush when you're waiting to hear your name called. So it just changed it so much, and you can probably understand, all of us as organizers are small business owners, and we have to make decisions, sometimes tough decisions, for the flow of our events and for financial reasons. And we know that we're not going to probably be where we normally are this year just because of the way things are in the world. And there's a lot of competitors that we know normally come to our event but just aren't comfortable going out yet, and that's completely fine. We totally understand, and we support them staying at home if that's what they feel comfortable doing. We just feel strongly about bringing dancing back, and we think we can do it in a safe way. And for those who are interested in coming and have expressed that they're really happy that we're doing this, we're glad that you can come, and we're glad to be able to offer it for you. But you know, changes had to be made this year, and we do hope that you can understand that. So pro-ams and amateurs, I'm so excited to be able to focus on you this year and your dancing, and if there's anything that we can do, please call. I know we have some limited information on the website as to the event modifications, but if I forgot something this evening, please call us, because I don't want it to get around, you know, that you're questioning, that there's a question about something, or that we may have misrepresented something and unintentionally. So we're here to help, and we're here to make it the best experience possible for you. So we hope to see you in June, well, this month, on the 26th and 27th in Cleveland, Ohio. Bye.